Tonight, more details about Erin Patterson's alleged purchases in the days leading up to the deadly mushroom lunch, as testimony reveals a missing phone never recovered by police.
Receipts from Erin Patterson's alleged shopping trips in the days leading up to the fatal lunch shown to the court. One receipt from a local Woolworths made by an account linked to Erin Patterson, showing purchases for 1 kilogram of sliced mushrooms, 2 types of pastry and shallot onions. Just days later, more pastry and mushrooms were purchased, as well as beef eye fillets. The court also shown receipts from the day after the lunch, when Patterson claimed she was experiencing vomiting and diarrhea. One from the BP service station Patterson visited, showing purchases of chewing gum, a sandwich and a wrap, as well as a purchase from a nearby donut shop. Text messages between Erin and her mother-in-law Gail once again bringing Erin's cancer claims into the spotlight.
Hi Erin, just wondering how you got on at your appointment today. Love, Gail and Don.
Hi Gail, the appointment went okay, thanks for asking. I had a needle biopsy taken of the lump and I'm returning for an MRI next week. And we'll know more after the results of those two things.
A police detective testifying there was no evidence of these tests taking place.
When we contacted St Vincent's, they had no record of it.
The court then heard that SIM cards had been switched between 2 phones while police were conducting a search of Patterson's home. The phone police seized contained the new SIM, which had recently been connected. Senior Constable Stephen Eppingstall told the court that despite another search of the home, the other SIM, which had been in use since 2019,
has never been located by police.
Erin Patterson has pleaded not guilty to all charges.
Erin Pearson is the Age's Crime and Justice reporter. She was in the court in Morwell again today. She's with us now. Erin, a lot of talk about Erin Patterson's phones today. What more did we learn about this missing one?
That's right. We had Stephen Eppingstall, who is detective in charge of the homicide investigation, on the stand for day 2 today, and he was taken through by the prosecution lots of different questioning about cell tower data, mobile phones, SIM cards and this type of technology. And we heard that there was 4 different phones listed as phones of interest, essentially, as part of the investigation. 3 of them were Samsungs and 1 was a Nokia. And the prosecution allegations are, in the lead up to the lunch, in the months leading up to the lunch, 2 SIM cards were moved in and out of a number of different phones, and one of those phones, it was captured on CCTV, allegedly with Erin Patterson at Leongatha Hospital 2 days after the lunch, with a pink case, has never been found. So the detective said that they went back to her house twice. They did 2 different search warrants on the accused woman's Leongatha house, and at no stage were they able to recover one of those phones.
The court also heard about purchases made by an account linked to Erin Patterson in the days leading up to the lunch. What did we find out?
So there was a number of transactions that were made at the Leongatha, which is her local community, the Leongatha Woolworths. And the jury were taken through with the witness. A number of these transactions, I think there was about 2 or 3 of them in the days leading up to the lunch. And they went through in fine detail how they came across those. Wasn't just banking records we heard about, but it was a Woolworths reward card that tracks the exact items of purchase that detectives used to get a bit of an understanding of what had been purchased. We heard that there was lots and lots of puff pastry, lots of potatoes, lots of meat, and also lots of mushrooms on multiple different occasions that were purchased. So we saw those receipts displayed on the screen as the informant was asked to confirm, yes, is this what you found? We also heard a little bit more about the Asian grocery store, which has been brought up in the trial. We know that Erin Patterson's daughter gave evidence earlier on, and the informant was questioned today and told the jury that initially she'd said to police she didn't remember any Asian grocery shopping with her mother, but since reviewing her statement and just on the eve of the trial, she told investigators actually, in fact, she does believe that she'd gone shopping at an Asian grocery type store with her mother.
There was also more talk of Erin's medical history under cross-examination. What did the court hear?
That's right. So as I mentioned before, day 2 of the lead detective on the stand, and we finally got to some cross-examination by the defence team. They're the lawyers that are representing Erin Patterson, and they were really asking Stephen Eppingstall about what he knew about Erin's history, and the cancer diagnosis was one of these questions that came up again, and he was asked whether or not he'd done any searches for this, and he told the jury that he'd checked the Victorian Cancer Register as part of his investigation and found Erin Patterson had no cancer. cancer diagnosis, but in cross-examination was taken through other records. And dating back to 2021, late 2021, I think it was about October, it was medical records that showed Erin Patterson had queried with her doctor and medical specialists about whether or not she may have ovarian cancer. So she'd reported a range of different symptoms, being tired, having swollen legs, these sorts of things. And they even raised whether or not in these medical records she could have MS or a heart condition. So there was a few different areas of interest that were raised today, and that's where we got to by the end of the day about those medical records.
Cold out there, Erin?
Freezing.
Yeah, thought so. Thank you for battling on for us. We appreciate your time.
Thanks, guys.